Welcome back to the Off Scott Free Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Willow Scott.
And my name's Hugo Scott.
And we are back to not do this because I don't want to do this. Hello, my name is Atlas Scott. This is Olivia Scott. We are hosts of this wonderful channel of ours. Podcast, April 26, 2026. What's good?
We're doing a new icebreaker today, and it is a TikTok filter where you have to rank different fast foods. Do you want to do it together? You have to blind rank them. So you have like 10 different fast foods that you can choose from, and then you have to pick the spot for each of them. So
How about we can go ahead and just, well, are you guys just recording?
I'm going to record it,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Ready?
That's a thing.
Okay, so Cane's.
7.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I feel like you can't.
Oh,
10.
10. Yeah, Arby's has got to be down there.
Yeah.
That's not.
Arby's is a 10. Burger King, I give it
9.
an 8 or a 9.
I do not like Burger King.
I feel like 9's fair.
It's a little bit better than Arby's, but not that much.
I feel like I put Jack in the Box a little bit above that.
Taco Bell.
See, here's the thing.
That needs to go up there.
I guess,
needs to
are we
go
just
up
talking about experience?
Yes. We're just talking about, food, experience. Oh, I almost dropped my phone. Food, experience, vibes.
I would go 3 then.
I was thinking 3 too. Mm-hmm. Taco Bell's up there. Chipotle needs to go 1 up, I think.
Yeah.
Second place.
I go 4.
What? What?
To be fair, it's blind. I would have put it above Taco Bell, but I need top 2 spots. I don't think it's going to give me what I want.
I think my top 2 would be Chick-fil-A and Chipotle. I'm waiting for Chick-fil-A. You know?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll put it at 4. I hope you don't make me regret that. Chick-fil-A, number 1?
I mean, sure.
What are you thinking is going to go above Chick-fil-A?
I just think other things are better.
What's going to beat the filet?
A lot of things.
What? I'm putting it at number 1. Executive decision here. Dunkin' Donuts.
8. I don't know. I would have put that at 0.
I would have put that lower. Wendy's. I don't like
6.
Wendy's.
Number 6. That's the thing about blind reactions.
Starbucks.
What is this? It's not a fast food. 5?
5. Yeah.
That's all we got now.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, 2. KFC. Jeez, that is not above Taco Bell.
Chipotle should have gone above Taco Bell. And now we have to put KFC at number 2. That's because of you.
I didn't. What?
If you would have let me put Chipotle above Taco Bell.
I thought we were getting like
solid
actually
ranking.
good fast food. Like we didn't get McDonald's.
That's true.
Which I'm not saying that's great, but it's better than what we're seeing right now. So.
That's fair.
Anyways.
Okay, well, that was that.
That's a thing right there.
Anyway, up until this point today, we had church this morning. On our way to church, we went to this place, a local Kolaches spot, exclusively Kolaches, called I Heart Kolache. I've seen it a couple of times and have mentioned it to Atlas. And we woke up with enough time this morning before church to be able to go stop there, and so we did. Thoughts on the Kolache place?
Very good. We got a few different varieties.
I'm a big person of, if we go try a new place for the first time, I want us to get a variety of things to make sure you get a good scope of what they offer. Because I'm a foodie. Atlas is not so much a foodie.
No, I don't.
But he can appreciate it.
I understand good food.
Yeah.
But in the same move as fashion, I just don't want to waste too much time on it.
Yeah. Yeah. What were the ones that you got again?
Got Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak Kolache.
And it was jalapeno cheese, just regular sausage roll.
And then I got regular just cheese and sausage roll. And then I got a pepperoni and mozzarella. I was going to get a bacon and cheddar one, but they were all out.
Yeah, that would have been a move.
That would have been so good. We're going to have to try that
The bacon mozzarella was kind of tough, not going to lie.
The pepperoni and mozzarella?
Or pepperoni mozzarella, yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It just could have been better.
Well, it was clearly been sitting out there for a bit.
Yeah.
And so the cheese wasn't melty. It was a whole thing. But mine was very good.
And then I also got a cream cheese kolache, which it was a pretty good cream cheese kolache. It was a little bit too sweet. but it was good.
Yeah, but
It was
it's
good.
solid.
From somebody who lived in Ennis, Texas, it was a little bit too sweet.
But
Ennis has a very
overall
heavy Czech
good.
culture.
Yeah.
Kolaches are Czech, in case you didn't know that.
Little fun fact of the day.
Yeah, fun fact of the day.
Willow has joined again, by
Hey,
the way.
when we go to Polka Fest, because he's going with me to Polka Fest this year. We haven't talked about that in person. We're going to talk about it after this podcast. But you got to try all of the Czech food. We got to make sure that you do it.
All right.
All the Czech sausage called klobas, sauerkraut sandwiches, all the stuff, kolaches. We'll get you there. We'll get you sorted out. Anyway, after that, we ran some errands. We went grocery shopping, and I had a grocery list this time, which made it really quick, which was good. And then we came back home and made some lunch. What did we end up making? We went to both Trader Joe's and H-E-B.
The chicken.
Yes, it was like a honey garlic chicken with soy sauce on rice with broccoli. It was really good. It was pretty balanced too.
It's quite nice.
Yeah. ChatGPT, that's our personal chef, kind of. They're like a assistant who comes up with the recipes.
Very true.
Anyway, but yeah, that's where we've been today. This past week, actually kind of was off to a little bit rough of a start. On Monday after I got back from work, y'all are aware that on Saturday last week, Atlas went and did some of the writing, all of the writing for Gone, for the movie that we're making. So that's the first part of 3. The shortest part
Should be the shortest part of the 3.
But he did that on Saturday, and so on Monday, our plan was to read through it and to come together and make some revisions. But unfortunately, I don't think either of us were fully in the headspace to receive or listen to each other properly. And we really rustled each other's feathers and, got into a little bit of a tiff. Understated.
It was one of the biggest arguments we ever had.
Yeah. And it was tough because it was semi-resolved, but not completely before bed. And so it kind of lingered to the next day. And that afternoon, I went to my grandparents' house, and Atlas stayed. Aww. But Atlas stayed home because it was his other week, and he worked on some work projects. But while I was going to Grandma's, I got a chance to talk to my mom a little bit, and she gave a lot of really good advice. Something that we had kind of noticed, because as a married couple, I'm sure after you've been together for a long time, there are certain patterns you can notice in the way that you argue or work out disagreements, I guess is the better way to say that. And one thing that we noticed with us specifically, which I think we had the thing that sparked the problem in the first place, which then led to this pattern that's been reoccurring for a while now. And then it became more about the pattern in the latter half, wouldn't you say, than the actual problem at hand.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And so this pattern is something that happens semi-often, but I'll feel a little bit, what's the right word?
Safe. Safe?
No. The opposite. We'll be in like a conversation, and there will be one thing that sparks something in my brain that just makes me feel, one thing said that throws off my mood, I think. And it hurts my feelings, I think, is the better way to put that. And my guttural reaction when my feelings are hurt are to either lash back with full force or to avoid it completely, which, fight or flight, But in those moments, I don't necessarily want to hurt you back.
Mm-hmm.
And so my reaction is to shut down. And sometimes that looks like me just not saying anything anymore and kind of completely mentally removing myself from the situation. Or sometimes it means me literally going into another room and removing myself. And I've not been good at communicating what it is exactly that's going on in my head at those moments. Because in my mind, my thought is I don't want to be mean back to him, and I don't want to be talked to in the way I was talked to just now. So I'm going to remove myself from this situation so that we can, get to a better place before we continue. But from your perspective, what does it kind of feel like?
No, it's a chess move to me. It feels very calculated, and it seems like you, at least in those moments, you take the power back, even though in my mind I didn't think there was power being taken, but it seemed like and obviously it's not the problem as you described.
Yeah.
You're asking for my perspective.
Yeah.
Because I remember either sitting or standing here, and you went into the room. Not a very big apartment for the record, so there's only so many places you can go.
Yeah.
And she closes the door, and it's a very intense action for a very soft human being, as in her. She's very sensitive. She's very, very gentle. That's what I love about her. And in those moments where I'm not gentle with her heart, and I'm not giving a safe space because I don't feel safe. I don't feel like whenever I feel like the lack of a better term, gloves are off, I feel space to be like, all right, I'm just going to go full. We in my family, we call it being a red dot, which is being very straightforward, blunt, binary, black and white, which is dangerous. If you're dealing with anybody that has a heart, especially your wife, which I believe is like one of our main goals as a husband is to create a safe space, which in this moment I was not doing. And I remember in this argument specifically, I was done with that action. I was checked out because I was like, the patience was already, like, I'm not good at patience. I believe I've gotten progressively better incrementally throughout the years of my life. But even in this moment, I was like, I'm gone out of the way. So I feel righteous or justified to act the way that I'm acting. And when you went into the room, I was like, no. And I believe I just went in there with you. And she wasn't having it.
Because your reaction when you walked in there was, no, you're not going to walk away from this. We're going to figure this out right now.
Yeah.
And it was with the same aggressive tone that I went in there to escape from.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain that, which then just made you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, heavily like the bad guy. Like I was painting you to be this villain.
Because the tone, and what I describe to my friends, it's like, obviously tone matters a lot.
Yeah.
And I know in those moments with her where I've sat there and she has removed herself and I sit here and I can just kind of like, all right, we'll just let it go for now and see what happens. But there have been multiple moments where I've asked her either an hour after or days after, and I'm like, do you actually ever want to be alone? And you're like, no, I never want to be alone. I never want to be apart from you. That's never the necessary goal. I remove myself because I don't want to be in the energy that you've created. And I was like, fair. But I'm also like, I'm also let's fix it head on first, regardless of feeling, regardless of fear.
Yes.
And that's where we defer. Because I think at first in our pre-marriage class, which I've learned what my answer was not correct, was when they asked, like, how do you deal with conflict? Do you deal with it head on, or do you need space and time? You need space and time, I'd say.
It really depends.
When emotions are simmering, that is what I'm trying to say. Like when we're bubbling over.
It depends on the situation for sure.
Sure.
But
but average.
In a heavy situation like the one we're describing,
Yeah.
yes, anytime.
We're talking about where you get to the end of yourself in these situations where you're like, who are you naturally? And it becomes very clear. And I know in those moments, I realized pretty quickly, I'm like, oh, I literally I don't actually want to deal with the emotion. I just want to deal with the problem. Which in reality, the emotion is the problem. So it's like, it's the catch-22 of like, well, do you deal with the problem that created the emotions, or do you deal with the emotions that created the problem? And it's like, well, probably want to deal with the emotions first, really, in reality, because especially between two people, especially in a marriage, from what I've seen, it's a perspective thing always, and perspective and emotions are almost always intertwined. So if you can deal with the emotions, deal with the perspective, the problem almost just disappears, from my experience. In those moments, though, where I'm in the bedroom, definitely not trying to yell, but man, am I stern. Man, am I just like, I'm done, because I'm just like, mentally, I'm like, this, you've done this act
Yeah.
5 separate times.
And I'm trying to be firm and tell you I don't want you to do it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, no, I'm just not going to do this. Like you can yell at me right now, I don't care, I'm not going to leave. But it's like, give me something better than just leaving.
Yeah. So I talked to my mom about this.
Yeah, spoiler warning, it didn't work. That was not the correct method.
But basically, it blew up, and then we went to bed. Which we don't usually do that.
Well, a couple things happened. I don't know how detailed you want to be.
Not that detailed.
Okay, well, a bunch of things happened. It got to like 12 a.m.
It just got really aggressive and.
Well, it was just
from both of us.
There was no understanding.
Yeah, we both weren't wanting to understand each other, and there wasn't a true resolve at the end of it. And then the next day, and when I woke up, you had a shoot scoping out kind of thing that you went and did that day, and didn't message me at all throughout the day, and I got kind of hurt by that. And after I got off of work, I called him like I normally did. We hadn't spoken at all day, and I started like kind of getting mad at you for not saying anything to me, and you were like, I thought you needed space, and it was just this whole...
Now I'm listening.
Yeah.
Or at least from what I saw, I was like, but I gave you... what is happening right now?
And so I was frustrated, and I ended up getting off that phone call, and I think I called my mom right after that, and it was for something else. But as I was talking to her, I was kind of feeling it in my mind and in my heart. Maybe I should, mention this to my mom, see if she has any advice on it. But there's also the pride part of me that was like, nobody needs to know. Don't tell anybody, figure it out on your own, and I kind of fought back against that. And I just told my mom kind of what I just said just now, which was just, we have this pattern where he'll say something that hurts my feelings, and then I'll shut down and go run and hide. And it's to try and give space so that we can come back and resolve it later. But Atlas sees it as me being defiant and trying to hurt your feelings, like you just hurt mine because you don't like to be alone. And I was like, I see where he's coming from completely, and I hope you understand, where I'm coming from too. And I was like, I feel like there has to be a better solution than this. And she just kind of shared like what her and my dad dealt with their arguments for the first bit of their marriage, and they had different habits, different tendencies. But she said that they went to a marriage counselor about 10 years into marriage, and that one of the big things that they learned was that men typically, always have one emotion going at a time that's kind of taking over. And it can shift quickly, sure. But women usually feel a lot of things at one time. And so most of the time, like if I'm sitting here next to you, I can feel upset that you hurt my feelings, but I also love you very deeply, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I do want to resolve it, but I also don't want to Like I have a lot of different things going on, but for you, you're feeling frustrated at me that we're in this situation, and it's hard to get past that. And so my mom, her advice was sometimes you do need to take a step back to have a reset of the emotion, specifically on the guy's part, but on the girl's heart too, because we can get really stubborn too, and to come back to try and resolve it quicker and better. And so, anyway, that was kind of something that I took from her, and I went and talked to you about it maybe a day or two after. And we're going to try to start applying that a little bit more. Yeah?
Applying what?
The giving a little bit of space.
Well, you got to add more details to that. She told me about this specifically about saying, hey, I'm going to take
communicating
3 or 5 minutes over here. This is not against you.
Yep.
This is just for me.
The room right now feels this way.
Well, it's not even that. It's you taking initiative. Be like, hey, this is where I'm at. I need time. Mm-hmm. You might need time too. Mm-hmm. But I definitely need time.
Yeah.
So please give me some time.
Yeah.
And to me, like, just 2 or 3 sentences like that, I'm like, all right, I can let it go.
Like, hey, I'd like you to come back in here at 7:35.
Yeah, it's literally just be like, just put parameters. Because before it's like, I'm going in there. And then the door closes. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I just like start scrolling. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well,
But if I have that plan, to be like, oh, okay, so I'll literally put a timer down.
Yeah.
I might read the Bible, I don't know. And then once that's done, I'll go in, and then we'll potentially have a better conversation from here.
I've told you this before, like in my heart, truly what I want, I don't want to have to take time in between. I'd rather us figure it out then and there. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I can feel when a conversation is turning aggressive. And I think you would rather us be aggressive for a second and then, figure it out.
I'd rather figure it out
through the aggression.
I'd rather just talk. And to me, aggression is not necessarily bad. I think that's a big thing. I
think aggression's bad. I can't really, it clouds me.
It doesn't cloud me. I don't know.
It really clouds me.
And
it hurts my feelings, and it hurts my heart, and it makes me question things. It makes me really insecure. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I need aggression to be out of the picture when we come to a place of trying to find a middle ground. Mm-hmm. And so I also told you with the 3 to 5 minute rule, like if you feel yourself getting to a point where you're like, this is about to be something where I'm going to start lashing, you please call the 5 minutes and remove yourself. Like, I don't want it to be exclusively me. And I think that's what it's been like up until this point. It's felt very one-sided. Mm-hmm. Like I'm the one constantly doing that. And it's not a power play, but I can see how it would be perceived as one. So anyway, but my mom said that she really thinks it's mature and wise of us to recognize patterns right now, since we are very early into marriage.
I think, and this is where I get when it comes to like this kind of stuff, something that she's started to introduce into our conversations with our family, being very truthful with where we are, not necessarily just being like, it's all good, bro. How are you doing? It's like, I've been trying, as from the leadership of her, honestly, to be more open with my people, my close-knit people, about where we're at. Mm-hmm. We're good. Mm-hmm. We're solid. But we're also not perfect. Mm-hmm. And I think that is something I don't, and like, no shade to my siblings, but I don't necessarily see that from them. And not necessarily my parents either. They've not been guarded. Like they've definitely been able to be truthful.
Like if you pressed and asked about something, they'd be totally down to talk about it, but not forthcoming.
They're also not trying to, and I think this is probably how they see it now. I've seen it up until this point of, or you're making it about you because you're talking about your problems and you're wanting advice. And I think a lot of people, whenever they bring problems, they almost feels like they're asking for advice. There's probably a bunch of reasons why they don't share.
Yeah.
Justified, do whatever you want. But I like the transparency, because on the flip side, if I, like, say for instance, say if the roles were reversed and I was just dating you and say Brooks and McKenna were married and they were doing good, but they had some issues, it would actually humanize them a lot for me, for Brooks and or McKenna or both, to talk to us or individually what was going on and how they went through it and how they solved it, versus them just being like, it's all great. Like, I like honesty a lot, and that's something I want to be very transparent with especially with our eventual children.
Yes.
So that we're not sitting here, and not to like involve them into like complex or complicated arguments. That's not my goal. But like, especially when they get older, to like sit them down and be like, hey, like, this is what we've dealt with in the past. Same way we're talking to hopefully them right now. This is how we try to get through it. We're very imperfect. There will probably be moments where we falter, and hopefully we don't do it in front of y'all, but we might. And we're asking for grace here, but know that that's not a bad relationship. That's just our brokenness as human beings coming out and trying. I mean, honestly, it's usually just a pride thing. We're just trying to be right. And
that's a big part of marriage, is letting the other person.
Well, it's dying to self.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And it's one thing to be single, as I was single for virtually all my life, until now, of course, where
You're very not single.
Exactly. Very not single. And I think dying to self can be very simplified, and you can avoid it pretty heavily as a single person. In marriage, you can't. And I think that's so much better, because you can be a lot more serving and forgiving and asking for forgiveness in a more intentional way, than just sitting there as a single person being like, I'm sorry, God, for what I've done, and then you just keep doing it, versus say like, I'm hurting you constant. Like I said before, like stuff like this doesn't happen often, but it's just like, it's enough to be like, this is not the first time this has happened. And
to recognize what it is that happens every time that keeps us there.
To actually learn, instead of being like, well, that's just how he is. He just doesn't want to go. Like, it's like, to not, like, if I go out of my way to not hear her, to hear, because I believe what I should learn in this scenario is obviously try to make sure that I don't get aggressive, because anger does not mix well with peace. And that's what she needs. And that's definitely what I need, for sure.
Well, also, if you want to resolve it quickly, then try and quickly move away from that emotion.
You gotta sap away from trying to be right, trying to just like brute force the problem, come in with listening ears, bunch of things, bunch of little but awesome things. But if I fail at that, there has to be an acknowledgement of, hey, I'm screwing up because I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. I need to give grace to myself, honestly, to just be a failure to an extent as a husband right now.
Yeah.
And then let her forgive you, because you're more than welcome to forgive, like she very much is. And then realize, like, get broad strokes, big picture. What do you want right now? Do you want a great marriage, or do you want to be right? And those are the moments, especially if I can get to that, especially that question of, do you want a good marriage? Like, do you want your marriage to work, or do you want to be right? And that doesn't mean you're right, for the record. That just means you want to be. You don't want to be wrong, basically. You don't want to say, I'm wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. And I always go to like, of course I want a good marriage. Of course I want the better marriage. But when you're in that anger and that brute forceness, sometimes you do forget that. And I know in those moments, I'm not communicating, I want a good marriage. I'm communicating very much non-verbally, if not verbally. Why are you saying this? I'm right. Or like, why are you booing? I'm right. That's in that meme of just like, it doesn't look like I'm loving you right now, even though in my mind, I'm like, I am, like, my perspective, especially in those moments, is like, oh, I am loving because I haven't left yet. Yeah. Which is like, what a bar for love, that which is unfair. What I'm trying.
Like, also, I didn't leave the apartment.
Right. It's like, I'm still here. Like, I could have left. I got a car, got an office. It's a whole thing. But no, it's broader strokes and being more listening and specific with your heart. Yeah. So that I'm not sitting there and accidentally trampling on it. Yeah. And pushing it around when you're like sitting there like, hey, be nicer. And I'm like, no. I don't want to be nice, sir. I want you to be mean so I can feel justified in how I'm doing things right now.
Yeah.
But just a more bombastic way than what it is. But if we're not having that mindset of like, can we learn from this? Then I totally see how people go into marriage getting resentful very quickly.
Yes.
And not knowing what to
well,
do.
I've seen,
No understanding.
relationships kind of blow up from that lack of trying to recognize the patterns and work through it.
It's like like needles on it, or like what the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Or it's just like at a certain point.
Well, there's another thing that I have been saying throughout this week, based on this, that we're talking about right now. But being more honest doesn't necessarily mean being more transparent. I think that people sometimes go way too far into the honesty thing, where they don't bring their partner, they go to somebody else, and then they just lay down every single detail of what they're dealing with.
And they're like, what do you think?
Yes.
Which is like, what?
Well, there's that. But sometimes, too, if you bring people into the picture every single time that you have an issue, then from their perspective, they're not going to have a good image of your relationship because they don't hear the good parts. They just see the bad.
Yeah, it's just the problems. And it's like, what are we doing?
There was I did that a lot before we got married. But during our wedding planning process, there was a lot of tension going on with a lot of different things. Just planning in general was a handful, and me and you both were handling it in different ways. But I talked to my mom a lot because she was helping fund it. But I would kind of find myself ranting about you sometimes. And it got to a point where I started to realize that my mom was starting to see you in a negative light based off of how detailed I was being. And it got to a point where I was like, I need to stop talking to my mom about Atlas because she's not seeing him in a good way. And that's dumb because he's great. But that was what I was communicating to her from you. And so I think I was scared after we got married to even mention any problem that we had. And I think there's a good middle with everything in life. It is never far left. It's never far right. There's some good in between. And I think the balance here is figure out the root problem, get to a place where you're not solely fighting for yourself, but you're fighting for your partner too, and then present that vaguely to people. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need to go to my mom this week and be like, here is word for word the problem that me and Atlas had. You know, like, what do you think? That wouldn't have done anything. That's gossiping. You know? There's no constructive criticism that can come from that, truly, because she's my mom, you know, and obviously I'm going to be biased. And so we need to get to a place where our heart's good for our partner and being honest about the things that you've dealt with, but not necessarily in great detail. Do you know what I mean? Because that's still, it's part of our marriage, and that's our business, and there's just a certain
I will reiterate
line.
I think it's very important to not try to be right.
Yeah.
And more importantly, not trying to go out of your way to not say that you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people really like a crowd to justify their opinion.
Yeah.
We see that a lot today in social media and anything on the internet. You see echo chambers out the wazoo. And especially in social cliques, you'll see people with a toxic mindset of, well, if I just tell them my side, then they'll agree with me. And then I will feel justified, and I don't have to change, which is the wrong mindset. Especially in a marriage.
Well, if I just beat the other person in the situation to talking to this person and give them my side first, then they'll have to be with me.
No, I think there's a big flaw with that. That's always why, I mean, I always look at action over everything else. For if ever somebody comes to me with like that kind of stuff. And I really try, I don't know, I'm not always good with this because I do like tea. That's a big flaw of mine. But when people do come to me with that, especially when it comes to relationships, I try to immediately say, if they're Christian, I try to say, have you prayed about it? But if they're not, and if they are, and I've already said that, then I say, well, have you talked to them about this?
Yeah.
And it's usually a no.
Yeah.
It's like, if they have actually, then they've probably already resolved it. And if they haven't, which, you know, not everybody's perfect, I'm like, you should go talk to them. Because if they actually do like you, and they actually do want you, then there's a good chance, as long as you're not a complete wall of emotion, then you can probably figure it out. And especially as a Christian, you should probably pray about it alone, if not together, and get in the same room and figure it out. Don't let emotions get overwhelming, but make sure emotions are known. And so that you guys are both there, heard and seen.
I think the big thing is, if you're going to somebody for advice or for trying to get somebody to lean on in a certain situation, you should never be pointing out the flaws in your partner. You should be focusing on you. You should always be focusing on you. And that's something I could have done very wrong in this situation. I could have called my mom and been like, Atlas has this thing where he will do this every single time, and it hurts my feelings so bad. And I don't know what to do. It could have been that. But instead it's, I think this is where I'm messing up. And I think this is where he's messing up.
So this is,
and
this
I
scenario
want to know, I think there's a better way. I'm not trying to figure out who's right or who's wrong right now. Just from somebody who's dealt with marriage longer than me and disagreements longer than me. What have you found with your healthy, happy marriage is the best way in this situation? And I think that is the healthiest way to go about things like that. But even like, we got into an argument on our drive up to Little Rock the other week, and I like nonchalantly mentioned it in a conversation. We did twice. With Brooks and McKenna, and then also with Mimi and Mickey. And I was thinking, like, yeah, we can nonchalantly mention this, but we also didn't go into detail about it, what it was about or anything like that. We just like, hey, not transparently, honestly, you know, we dealt with this on the way up here. Kind of funny. I turned and didn't talk to him for like an hour, you know.
A very quiet drive.
Yeah. Or even like with like Elijah this past week, we talked to him about like intimacy and like our beliefs on that, and shared parts of our intimate life with him. Not in great detail, you know, but in honesty, you know, things that we've dealt with and things that may be helpful for him. So again, I think there is a good happy medium with being open, but not too open. Agreed? Yeah. So that's kind of that. That kind of went on for a while, but I'm glad that we have that on here. I don't feel like we talk as much about deep, real, hard things to talk about on here. And so I think it's good to kind of, you know, be clear about that and be open and honest. Okay, that was dumb. I'm sorry. But
it's fine. What was dumb about that?
Oh, I don't know. My laugh.
That was dumb. Just own it. No need to laugh.
But yeah, speaking of that, we did hang out with Elijah on Wednesday. And that was fun. Hadn't seen him in a little over a month.
That's very true.
But he was door dashing up here, and we went and got Flower Child with him. He had never tried Flower Child, but door dashed a lot of it, and we were like, it'll change your life, man. And he really liked it, so yay there. We had a lot of really good conversations. It was one of those hangouts with him that reminded me why he's such a good friend to me, you know, and we heavily believe a lot of the same things, and he is a very open-minded individual, and very loving and very caring and fun to hang out with. So, yeah, we had a great time. Any comments on our Elijah hangout?
No. Cool guy. He should live more north, but he doesn't.
But unfortunately, he lives on his parents' property in the middle of frost.
Cross Texas.
Yeah.
So now we got to wait the next 2 business months till we see him again.
Yeah.
So yay.
Yeah. But yeah, on Thursday after work, we went and saw the Michael Jackson movie, Michael, in theaters. That just came out on Thursday this past week, which is kind of funny because it was on Michael Miller's birthday.
Yeah. My grandfather.
Good old Mickey. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a coincidence that is.
Crazy times.
But yeah, we went and saw that movie. I know you had some big thoughts on that. Would you like to share those?
I think it's really hard to do a biopic. And
Yes.
It's for anybody that ever comments, it's biopic. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a biographical picture. That's what it is. So it's a biopic. So don't at me on that one. But 2, it's very hard to encapsulate, especially a very big, prominent figure that's done a lot, like Michael Jackson, in the span of 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on the movie. Same with Bohemian Rhapsody with Freddie Mercury. I think there's others that I haven't seen, but I do want to see. Like there's like Rocketman with Elton John, a bunch of people. And I think production-wise, acting-wise, and just a bunch of music, and obviously, like just a bunch of things.
Recreation-wise.
Yeah. Just it looked and felt really good.
Yes.
Payoff-wise, very bad. I personally like it when a movie follows a 3-act structure, and it can be loose, for the record, but when it makes sense and it hits hard, when the climax really hits. And this feels like part 1 to a part 2. Part 1 of a 2-part series of movies, and not a full movie. And if you know the history of the Michael Jackson movie, then it actually totally makes sense why it feels this way. And if I let go of that desire for it, it's an amazing movie. I think it's great. Substantially better than Bohemian Rhapsody. So much better than most of them, honestly. It is a very, very well made movie. Jafar Jackson, I think that's his name, right? Does a great job. The nephew to Michael Jackson. So many things about it. I wish he didn't smile as much, but I don't know if that was like a thing. that was more of like a theme that he was trying to push. Great smile though. But either way, I definitely wanted a little bit more context on the other side, like Michael Jackson with his alopecia turning white from black to white, his dealings with some controversies, and I really personally wanted to see him getting ready for the This Is It tour, and then tragically passing away before that tour ever started. And so, bunch of things.
Yeah, I think it felt the whole movie like, obviously it's the growing of him. It's the ramping up, and it felt like they planted so many seeds. And I could tell what they did, what they were going for with this movie specifically. Like Atlas said, they had an original direction they were going to go with this movie, and it kind of fell apart during production. So they had to go back to the drawing board and shoot some more stuff. And the way that they kind of, I think, structured it plot-wise was more so around Michael Jackson getting out of the grips of his father. And that was kind of
That was it.
yeah, that was it.
That was the arc.
Yes, that was the whole arc, was him getting out of the grips of his father, which if it was advertised, I said this to you after the movie, if it was advertised as like becoming Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that, like the rise of Michael or something like that.
Like I think you pitched the title of like just becoming Michael. I'm like, oh yeah, that would have been made more sense.
Made so much sense because it ends with like this big like he is the shit.
Yeah.
Try not to cuss on this podcast a lot, but
he's the bee's knees.
He was the bee's knees. And that's how it ends, is he made it to the top, you know? And the thing is, if you know anything about Michael Jackson, that was just the start.
Yeah. So many things happened.
Yeah, so many things happened after that.
We Are the World happened.
Yep, so much,
Oh my
so
gosh.
much. So overall, it was a really great movie,
Yeah.
really great feel-good movie. They did a great job recreating things. They really painted him as a really great character.
Yeah.
He was very lovable. I think they did him justice for sure.
Yeah.
With painting his heart correctly,
Yeah.
and portraying it correctly. I think a lot of people painted him as somebody who didn't want to be black and somebody who
Yeah. That was always
touched children
Yeah.
in weird ways, and they were
Which
very
is also, that's a whole
anti-drug
topic right
Yeah,
there.
they drove the story in a direction that actually showed
Well,
who he
they focus
was.
on his story instead of the garbage around it, which is
Yeah.
what becoming famous can kind of do.
Yeah.
I know that I appreciated that they didn't just caricaturize the dad to be just a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of, and you might disagree with me on this, but as a person that I know, it's like it's kind of hard to like write a villain without everybody hating them. But it's like they're I feel like the more I mature, the more I start to see the dad's side. Because I've known the story for a bit. It's not an impossible story to look up.
Yeah.
But with Michael's dad,
Joseph.
yeah, Mr. Joseph Jackson, he wanted to get out of his work, his steel factory thing. I forget what it is specifically, but a factory that he was working at, he didn't want to be in, which fair. And he utilized his boys, seemingly willingly, on their end. I think it just sounded cool to them probably, and they were like, well, let's do it. And he made the Jackson 5 and basically made them to give Michael a platform to launch from. And I holistically believe, and I believe that's probably why he stayed for as long as he did. He understood this, that his dad was very necessary to his success, because without that, then who knows if he would have ever had Michael Jackson? Probably not, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same energy and opinion that I have with labels and my disagreements with how artists complain about labels. They're like, they're controlling me, and I'm like, nobody
want this?
like nobody forced you to sign the contract. It's like, I was a kid. I'm like, then don't sign the contract, or don't let. I don't know. I'm sure there's different things I don't know.
I really didn't like Joseph.
Yeah, I'm not saying I liked him for the record, but you kind of.
I don't understand him at all. I don't.
I kind of understand him.
No. I don't think you should ever force your kids to do something that they may or may not want to do.
Yeah.
For your own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really did that so that he could get himself out, right?
100%.
It wasn't for his family. He framed it as for the family.
Yeah.
But really, he didn't want to have to do the work. He wanted to make them do the work to get them out of
100%.
there, which he did do, and he did get them out of there. And then it was, at least the way he was portrayed in the movie, was he was just this overbearing person who wanted control and just wanted to control everything that Michael did. Mm-hmm. And he... yeah, even when he was in the hospital, was asking if he'd be able to perform.
Yeah.
And like just very lack of care, lack of feeling, more so focused on trying to make the most revenue for them. He knew if Michael branched out by himself, then he wouldn't be getting anything.
Well, yeah, and that's where I'm like, maybe you let him go, brother.
Yeah.
But, in the same way, like I said before.
In my opinion, parents are supposed to, sure, if you see a talent in your kid, sure, push them for it, but don't push them to where they don't want to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to, try and put your child out there. It's another to force them to practice on a school night and to,
Well.
force them to, and to spank them. And
the spanking is unnecessary.
He was mean. He was hurtful.
Yeah, he was stern.
Yeah.
He forced them to be great.
Yeah.
Price of greatness right there. Talk to any athlete out there. hopefully a better relationship with their parents, but it's, it's hard work.
Most athletes don't have a good relationship with their parents.
It's not shocking. I think of Serena Williams and Venus Williams with their dad, and yeah, it just takes a bit.
I think of Alyssa Liu. Her dad is the one who put her into Olympic training as a kid, and she does not talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
And she does not do Olympic training anymore, but she did develop a passion for figure skating, and she now has won an Olympic medal without doing any of the hardcore diet or training leading up to it. She just did what she wanted to do and entered for funsies. But is very defiant and resentful of her dad.
Yeah.
I know that's a very prideful thing, I think, is for parents to want their kids to be great. I think that's cool in theory. I think it could be pushed too far very easily, and it can become about you really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's always about you make a mini me, and you're like, well, I want you to be great.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like, if your kid shows interest in music, yeah, get them lessons, for sure. But if they're ever like, I really don't want to do lessons, I'm really annoyed, I hate it, then it's like, okay, maybe push them a little bit. But I don't think that it should be forced by any means.
Well, sure. Yeah, the forcing is unhelpful.
Yeah. It just becomes resentful.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our thoughts about the Michael Jackson movie. The next day, you spent the entire day in a coffee shop.
Again.
This time.
Same coffee shop, next to the same table that I was at.
Nice.
Very close.
But this time writing Oblivion.
Part 1.
Part 1, because Oblivion's the longest part in our movie.
And I took a while to write.
Yeah. But you did it. You got it done, which is awesome. He's going to work on editing hopefully tomorrow so that I can read it.
Well, I went... The thing about writing for me is really hard. I'm weirdly good with words, but I believe that's more of a upbringing because my mom was an English major in the University of Arkansas, and also because I went to a good high school, and because of my mom. I really give credit to my mom for my increased vocabulary, so it's helpful for that. I've also written a bunch of songs and a bunch of films as well, so I do have a skill there on some level, so that's helpful. But naturally, I am not a natural writer. I have to do a lot of things to trick myself into writing, and I do like making movies. I don't like writing. I don't like reading either. It's a weird place to be in. But with that mindset, that's why we started to work on the outline first and pretty in depth, pretty intensely.
And why we've now broken down writing sessions into multiple sessions instead of just go however long it feels.
Yeah, no. Well, it's
like, no, you're going to get done from point A to point B today.
Yeah, no, I remember like halfway through this part 1 of Oblivion writing session, I almost just stopped. I was like, I'm going so slow. It's 2 p.m. What is going to happen right now?
But you stayed there.
But I was like, no, you can do it. You can do it. Not all these scenes are long, and some of them are like really long, but I was like lying to myself. I'm like, I can do it. Come on. And I have this chart, this Excel or Google sheet that shows me all the scenes that exist on that outline and allows me to check them off whenever I'm done with them. And I have this little ticker of each EP or section of the script, Gone, Oblivion, Desire, that shows like you have this many scenes left. And I had 20 scenes to write on that day, and it was like 19, 18, 15, 10, 6, 4, and I was like, yes, let's go. And you get to 0 and you're like, yes, I can leave. And that was also like really satisfying because then like I get to reread it, edit it, and then like make it good, especially with her, to get another set of eyes on it.
Some revisions.
Make it coalesce, make it cohesive, make it make sense. And then you're like, oh, we did that. That's so sick.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool.
And it's cool because you're like just about halfway done with
Yeah.
the whole thing
Yeah.
at this point, which is
About.
awesome.
Semi. I know Desire, I believe, has about 36 scenes. So I don't know. We'll see about timing on this. But I got to around 32 or 36 pages on Oblivion Part 1, 32 pages for Gone. And I was really happy with Gone. And I am very happy with where Gone is at. Because I just think I think if it's edited well and acted well, I think it'll be really good. It just has to do that part. A very small part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that was part 1 of writing. I'm going to be probably writing part 2 sometime this week. It's not scheduled, but I should have a bunch of time on certain jobs that I'm
Monday,
doing
Thursday, maybe Friday.
to write it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And while you were doing that, I went and got dinner with Emily, which was good. Got to go catch up with her. We haven't seen each other in a minute.
This is true.
Yeah, just got to catch up on life. That was great. And then I've been listening to audiobooks still. I've gotten through, I did 3 this week, completed, and then started a 4th. So I read Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer, which is a Jesus book, a sermon that me and Atlas loved a few weeks ago that we preached about for like half an episode. It was based off of that book, and I knew I had to read it, so I put it on hold at the library, and it came off hold this week. So I listened to it all on Monday, and it was great. It was awesome. I also read the 4th Narnia book, The Silver Chair. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one, but now I'm off to The Horse and His Boy, which your mom told me was a really good one. So I'm excited for that. I also read An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Not the biggest fan of that one, to be honest. I hope that I have a lot of John Green books on my queue of things to read. The reason that An Abundance of Catherines was even on my list was because I had told ChatGPT the gist of the movie that me and Atlas were writing, and I asked for pieces of media, books and movies specifically, that I could watch that were similar so that I could draw, I guess, inspiration from, the vibe. But yeah, basically it's about this nerdy kid who's really good at anagrams and is just a very smart kid who can recite facts really quickly. But he graduates from high school and doesn't know what to do with his life because he has always been attracted to girls named Catherine, and he's dated 19 Catherines up until that point. And Catherine the 19th broke up with him. And his best friend, who is Arabic, his name is Hassan. He's like, dude, we got to get you out of the house. You need to quit crying about Catherine. Let's go on a road trip. And so they do. And they stop at this landmark in Memphis. They lived in Chicago, but they stop in Tennessee. And it was Franz Ferdinand's burial ground, which is in this random little town. And the tour guide is this girl named Lindsay, and she helps them. And basically, long story short, they end up staying with Lindsay and her mom randomly. And then by the end of it, the genius guy actually ends up liking Lindsay, and they become a thing. And it's his first Lindsay out of all the Catherines. And that's basically it.
So sick.
Yeah, her mom owns a
concept.
tampon string making factory. Yeah, it's so random. But
That's weird.
I just kept waiting for there to be some sort of payoff, and there really wasn't. Like, I could tell that he was going to go for Lindsay eventually, but it was just kind of like, And it didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, why would an 18-year-old just go stay with a random family that he met this girl on a tour? I guess just because it's a book, but
Yes.
stupid. Anyway, then I started Mockingjay, the last Hunger Games book, on that right now. So good. So far, so good. Liking it. there's a lot in the Hunger Games that I'm like, this does seem like such a fictional, not everything makes sense, kind of thing.
We call that plot holes.
Yeah. Yeah. But it feels like fan fiction, but it's just fiction. It's not fan fiction. It's just fiction.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's funny to me. But yeah, I went and walked White Rock on yesterday with your mom,
Yeah.
which was fun. We had a lot of really good talks and conversations, and I really enjoyed that. I went and did White Rock twice last week, and I had told Laura that I did that, and she was like, I love to walk. Next time you're there, please let me know. I'd love to walk with you.
Yeah.
And I wasn't planning on going this week, but you had your practice session with Blake, which we'll talk about in just a second. But when I was there, when you were there, I went to go walk with your mom. So we had a great time. It was awesome. What was it like practicing with Blake? Good time?
Terrible. I hated
dang
it.
it.
It's the worst.
I knew it.
I'm kidding. Big fan of Blake. It was cool. He's very, very detailed in the music theory of it all. And I'm
Which
not.
you need.
Yes. It's helpful to have a player like that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, like, do you like this voicing or this voicing? I'm like, those sounded the same to me. What are you talking about? But sometimes it would sound different. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, this one. That'd be cool. But he came in with a bunch of ideas. Very hard worker. He's going to help me cover 3 songs. And 2 of them are mine. And one of them is his favorite song that I've made. One of his favorite songs of mine that I've made.
Yeah.
And he is very excited about that one specifically. And so we focused a lot of time into that. Then we went to the second one. And then there's a cover that I'm doing of a Sleeping at Last song. So I'm really happy about that. It was just really good. We got to catch up a bit. We have seen each other recently, but haven't been to his house in a bit. I was part of his band for a while called Making Coffee. And I left that to do my stuff. And that's what I'm doing right now. And he's helping me with that, which I really appreciate. And it was really cool to see him, Rosie, and Blake's dad. Blake's dad's really cool. He's really nice. And yeah, it was a very, very chill time. But she asked me, she was like, how long are you going to be there? I'm like, probably about 4 hours. And she was like, oh, I'll walk White Rock then. I'm like, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
You do you. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we basically got done around the same time, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But big fan.
And then we worked on Gone revisions. That's actually what started our TIFF on Monday, was us working on Gone revisions and us not being...
No, I wasn't there mentally.
I wasn't either. And we were both just kind of agitated with the things both of us were saying.
I also know, especially, and this is honestly what irked me more, which has nothing to do with her, totally on me. And this is something I put my foot in the sand for Oblivion Part 1, which is smart because I'm me. I know what's wrong pretty immediately when I reread one of my scripts. So I like to do that reread first to get it out of the way, get crappy dialogue fixed, all the grammar that I usually get wrong fixed as much as I possibly can, certain logic errors, fallacies, all the things. Get it out of the way so that when new eyes come in,
It's not, you're dumb.
It's like, oh, like you should change this. I'm like, I know I should change that. I was going to change that anyways, but this is the first time I've been reading this since I wrote it. So I get really butthurt and prideful with it. So I'm like, just to get that out of the way, I'm doing that first. So then we can go in to Oblivion Part 1 and actually get that fixed.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Oblivion, for us, comes out this Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The EP.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's crazy. Are you excited?
Yeah. I'm very happy with a lot of everything about it, honestly.
We could do a little release party.
We're going to Houston.
Yeah, but on Thursday night. With some friends, if you wanted to.
We can.
Or with us.
We'll just go like Connie Rosso and just have some fun.
Yeah. And we can order the vinyl online.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. But yeah.
We got to get cauterized too. We haven't ordered that one yet.
That's true. Bunch of things.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, last night we watched The Devil Wears Prada, we had gone through, we browsed a couple of different streaming services. And I said, and you said some movies that we were wanting to watch. And I believe it was the Lego movie, The Devil Wears Prada. What else was there? Maleficent.
There's also, there's the Noah Khan movie that was on Netflix.
The Noah Khan movie. And there's another Disney one that you hadn't seen. I forget what it was. Doesn't matter. But we were going through them and I was like, which one do you want to watch? He said The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't seen it. And it's talked about a lot. So, and the second one is coming out next month.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, I also... Two things, the reason why I chose that.
Yeah.
For one thing, I just knew it. I've heard really good things about it. And I was like, I do want to see that. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Two, it was late when we chose this movie, and I had a feeling she would probably be drifting, and she had already seen it. So I wanted to make sure that we could watch the whole way through without me stopping.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be missing anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I think this actually works very well right now.
Yeah.
If it was like 8 p.m., I would have been probably choosing a different movie.
Yeah.
But it was a really good movie. I liked it.
Oh, yeah. What are your comments about it? Did you enjoy it?
I think it was really well done.
It's very outdated now.
Yes.
Fashion-wise, vibe-wise.
Everything-wise.
Yeah, everything-wise. But it is so iconic.
I think Meryl Streep does a great job, as she always does. But she humanizes a pretty seemingly inhumanizable character. It just shows you, like, I love the theme of when you have an intense drive for perfection or greatness, you will probably lose a lot, if not everybody around you, at least safety-wise. And I think that's a really interesting lesson because, obviously, if you've ever seen it, spoiler warning, even though it's an old movie, the main character, Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, she gets to that point, nearing to that point of Meryl Streep's character, Miranda, I think. And she's like, no, I will not do that.
Miranda Priestly.
Exactly. I will not become Miranda. I'm not doing that. And even
Where she starts to sacrifice all of her own personal relationships and who she is as a person.
Oh, yeah. She just starts to lose herself. And there's a lot of things that she learns that are good, like to actually try. And there's a lot of things that she learns that are bad, which is to prioritize her career over the people that she claims to love the most. Which, obviously, it's totally up to you on whether or not you do your life that way. But for her, she was like, well, actually, eventually, I don't want my life to look like hers because Miranda's husband leaves her and she has to, like, do a bunch of things to keep her job. And it just, like, Anne Hathaway's character, she's like, nope, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just a really cool lesson to learn.
Yeah.
It's a really good theme. I think it's really well
It
made.
was portrayed well.
All of it. It's really awesome. I don't know how they're making a second movie for the record.
Yeah, because the plot kind of wraps up at the end of that.
Yeah.
There's not a reason for a second movie.
It's self-contained.
Though I am interested to see what they do with it. Yeah. They're bringing all the main characters back, like Emily and
Emily Blunt,
Miranda Priestling,
Stanley Tucci.
Yep, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
Tucci.
No, you're talking Miranda Priestly.
I'm talking about the characters.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what's crazy?
Meryl Streep. I was like looking for the name. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is the name now? It's gone.
In the second movie, guess who's in it? Caleb Heron. Do you know who that is?
Is that the big guy?
That we were just
comedian
laughing
guy?
about
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I saw him on the red carpet for the Prada 2, and I was like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I think he's a pretty notable character in it.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
I think he does a great job.
He's hilarious. I was scrolling on TikTok, and there's this one podcast that he did with
You
Drew
were
and
dying.
Brittany Broski.
It got funny
my
as it got to the end, but she was dying the second it
Every
started
time I
playing.
see it, it makes me laugh so hard. But if you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's a podcast, and it's his story about
Cologne.
yes, cologne.
I'm trying to find the cologne that this person in his school wore in, like, what, high school or like middle school or something like that.
But it starts it's so funny. I'm not gonna explain it. Just go watch it.
It's really
I'm not gonna
funny.
do it any grace. Go watch it.
I don't know. Yeah, but
It's so funny.
it's really
Caleb
funny.
Heron cologne. Just look
Caleb,
that up.
Caleb Heron cologne.
Yeah.
Asking for the cologne, specifically the
Anyway,
box.
Coop.
Anyway, Coop. So like, do you remember where she went?
Anyway, but yeah.
Well, like we started like kind of like riffing with each other in like the closet when we had just like watched like 30 minutes after, and I was like, I think you probably started it, but I was like, so like, color of the bottle, what was the shape of it? Because it was just like out of nowhere. By the way, I think you said something, and I was like, I just started dying. I was like,
I said anyway, Coop.
yeah. I was like, this is great. This is actually a great inside joke. I'm a big fan.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that was our week. Now you're caught up. Goals for this upcoming week. I've been doing pretty good. I think I spoke about this last week, but I've had like a health and fitness plan that I've been trying really hard to follow. This week I did do all of my workouts and my steps.
Oh, she did.
Next thing I need to really lock in on is food. I kind of baby stepped into it last week. Now we're going to try and go hardcore after today. And I've talked to Atlas about this. He's going to help me be accountable, which is good.
I was kind of saying,
and I'm very glad.
Well, it's funny because like I think your natural tendencies are just like, that looks really good. We should go get it. And I'm just like, I'm not on that side.
Food. So bad. You know this.
Everybody's got their vices, for the record. We're just focusing on this right now. But even then, like even today, she showed me this like cookie that had like, what was it? I'm forgetting now.
Oh, it had Twinkies in it.
See that light up right there?
It was an Insomnia Cookies has a limited edition Twinkie cookie.
She's like, look at this. I'm like, Liv.
I don't even like Twinkies.
And I think you went out because I remember
I just like cookies.
She saw this one ad the day before, I think yesterday.
Yep.
I forget what it was.
It was Eiffel waffles. Creamery.
But she showed it to me.
It's a bubble waffle ice cream shop that just opened near us.
Yeah.
Like right down the road.
Yeah.
And they had all these specials on Friday because it was their grand opening. Yeah. But they're open until midnight every night.
And here's the thing.
And it was like 10.
Here's the thing. She can do whatever she wants. Like, I'm not trying to force her to do anything. But she does tell me her goals, and I try to help. And she showed me that ad, and I was like, why are you looking at that? You should just say you're not.
You said, do you want to go?
What?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ad that you showed me on your phone. Was that the ad? When you're on the bed, and I was like, we should just hit not interested.
Yeah, you did do that, but I called you when you were in the bathroom and asked if we could go.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I
was like, I was not gonna lie. I was playing with it. I was like, this actually kind of sounds fun.
You were like, let's get up, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just this ad that popped up.
And then I snapped into it. I was like, all right, fine, then I'll help.
Yeah. And then you were like,
this is true.
Because I was like, okay, what if we like went and got queso instead? And you were like, that's so many calories. And I'm like, but I was going to get ice cream from this creamery. And you were like, I wouldn't have gotten ice cream. And I was like, right, I would have gotten ice cream. I know it's not your problem, but it's me.
And I'm just kind of sitting there like, you should just say you're not interested with the ad. And you're like, you can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. And I hit the 3 dots and I was like, not interested, inappropriate. And then it just went away. And she was like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. And like, obviously, like I said, she can do whatever she wants. But it's like, if you want help.
But it is nice to have an accountability partner because now what we're going to do, I've asked him to help me with this because I have a certain calorie deficit I'm trying to stay in throughout the day, but I have a sweet tooth. And so my plan is I'm going to stick to 2 meals. I'm going to do 1 at noon and 1 for dinner. Going to count those calories, show it to Atlas, and we're going to determine how many calories I have left over for my deficit. And he's going to help me pick out 1 sweet treat at the end of the day. We have a cabinet full of sweet treats, and I can pick out 1. And we're going to be adamant about it.
Yeah, I'm down for the record. Yeah. I have no problem.
So that means some days I may be able to get a 200-calorie sweet treat, and there are other days where I will get a single Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Because I had...
the Jolly Ranchers work.
Yeah, too big of a food meal. But anyway... I think it's going to be good. We're going to do good.
She's very cute with this.
I'm trying. I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard. And I'm proud of myself because I did workouts every day of the week this week, except for Sunday. That's my thing. I'm letting Sunday.
She's been moving.
Yes. But I'm letting Sunday be my day of rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah. So I don't have to get my step goal. I don't have to work out. I arguably don't have to stay as adamant to my food plan.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't go off the rails, but
it's just being mindful.
Yeah, be mindful.
I think you have a good head on your body right now. To
shoulders.
Shoulders. That's it. Good head on the shoulders to figure this out. It's not complex.
Well, I also was thinking like I went like so hardcore into it and I've been failing in a lot of little ways, but I also was thinking about it yesterday when I was driving and I was like, I've had so many successes though for how many rules I've started to implement. Like it's going to take a while for it to all click into place, but when I think about it, like this past week I did stay on top of everything fitness related. That is a success there. Did I mess up in some food areas? Yes, that is a vice that I have. I just got to start working to where I have one mess up, then none, you know, and just keep going. Don't let it slow you down. You just keep going.
Don't stop.
So I'm doing it. And then you also have been feeling insecure about business type stuff. And so this week, what are you going to do for your business?
I'm shutting it down.
No.
I'm kidding.
No more Atlas narrative.
No more A&M. We're just going. I'm going to be a CPA. That'll never happen. Goodness. I'm not. Wagne, my dad. I'm actually, there was something I did at the very end of last week that was a little helpful. But I've gathered up all the content that I believe is enough to substantiate my Instagram page for A&M so that anybody that looks at it can actually know what I do and what I specify in.
So that you can have more confidence when you pitch it to people.
Correct. When they're like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, ooh, I don't want to show you that right now. Nothing on that. But that's the goal right there. I'm getting a couple details finalized so that I can meet with her dad again because her dad's an entrepreneur, pretty successful one, I'd say. And
Pretty good.
he wants to help me. I want him to help me. I want to figure this out because I don't know what's going on. And I would like to get to a point where there's steady retainers coming in and I can build up business in a way that is sustainable and not just more of a fever dream.
Yeah.
Which it feels like that right now.
That happens. Sometimes you have the most amazing month of your life and sometimes
I just made $12,000 this month. That's great. And the next one I'm like, I have
no money.
Nothing left.
In terms of money, we have no money.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Yeah.
That's how I feel some days. And so I'm just like,
awesome.
But that's that.
Good.
Praying about it, thinking about it, but not worried about it too much, but I'm also just very worried about it as well. So
not worried about it too much, but pretty worried about it.
Also struggling heavily, but I got some jobs already lined up, not necessarily for A&M, just for myself that will bring income. But I definitely want the more main business to flourish.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't think I've given it my best shot. And I would like to give it my best shot before I stop trying.
Yeah.
But I guess me in a year, we'll see.
Yeah, because we talked about this semi-recently. I was like, hey, if it's too hard to try and strike up this business as a full-time thing, there's no shame in finding some other job. It can be part-time to do in the in-between, so you have at least some sort of income. But you've also never done that before.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of scary territory in general, too. So anyway, we're just trying to... I think it's good that you're giving it a fair shot. I think if you give it a fair shot and you're still struggling...
A college try.
Yeah. Then we can go back to the drawing board. But yeah, y'all be praying for Atlas. We'll keep y'all updated.
I mean, I seem to have clients that like what I do. Yeah. So there's that.
You make them look really good.
I try to. Yeah. But that's that.
That's this week. That's off scot-free. That's us. That's you and me.
Until next time.
Until next time.
We have Willow and Hugh signing off.
Oh, yeah.
Probably already signed off right here. He's been gone for a
been
bit.
asleep. He's so cute.
Just a big old bundle of croissant.
Yeah.
Anyways, love y'all. Peace. See you.